What's up, book nerds? My name is Tara, and today I am going to give you a review of Challenge Your Deep by Neal Shusterman. As you can tell by looking at the cover of this book, it is a National Book Award winning novel from last year, and it also fits the Book Riot Read Harder challenge criteria for reading a book featuring a character with mental illness. It's not a big spoiler here to say that this is a book about mental illness. In particular, it's a story about schizophrenia and related disorders, which can often onset in adolescence. The book is based on Neal's own son Brendan's experience with mental illness. The story itself is told through two different narrative styles. The first is the general story of our main character, Caden Bosch, as he goes about his life in high school. He is dealing with his family life and his friends, and something odd that keeps happening to him as he's dealing with the anxieties that just seem a little less than normal. Because he's an artist, Caden likes to express his feelings through his art, and one of the things in the book is that there are every couple chapters or so, there are illustrations that kind of depict his descension into his madness. When I originally got this book, I met Neal Shusterman and his son Brendan, and Brendan was signing pictures of his artwork that were the original proofs included in the book, and I guess this is upside down, and he has his signature on here, as well as when I got the ARC, inside of it, I got signatures from both Neal and Brendan, and the art that Brendan did here is very representative of the type of art that's in the book. The second narrative plot is that of Caden on a ship sailing towards the deepest point in the ocean, which is known as Challenge Your Deep, which is where the title of the book comes from. At first, we as readers are unsure if this is just a metaphor, if it's something that's in Caden's head, if it's real, if it's not real. But this becomes clear by the middle of the story, and on the front flap of the hardcover edition of the book, there's a quote that sums it up pretty well. It says, "Caden Bosch is split between his allegiance to the captain and the allure of mutiny. Caden Bosch is torn." And these ship scenes really add something that make this book just more than a contemporary novel. It is what brings this book to life and really shows us the tragedy and also sometimes the brilliance of what's going on inside of Caden's head. Overall, I rated this as a 4-star book because I think Neal Shusterman is a genius. I enjoyed his other books that I've read, and this was no exception to keeping him on one of my favorite author lists. I felt he captured the nuance of mental illness quite well, especially that diagnosis is not the end of the journey, it's one point on the journey. Mental illness is filled with many diagnoses and shifting meds, and it's a never-ending process that many people deal with throughout their entire lives. Again, Challenge Your Deep fits in as YA that challenges its readers and does not speak down to them. It does not treat them like children, especially in the ship scenes in the novel. They are so complex and there are so many layers of meaning there that could be dissected. I felt even after one read, by the time I got to the end, I almost wanted to start the book over again so I could pick up on all of the things that are actually happening on those ship scenes, because initially when you're reading those, you can't make heads or tails of what different things represent or even why they're there or what they're going to do. So I could absolutely picture this being the kind of book that would have much more importance the more times that you read it. I think that's generally the criteria that the National Book Award folks and the Prince Award folks are looking for, are books that are not simple and that require you to have some knowledge of other texts and even life outside of the YA world in order to give meaning to all of the aspects of the novel. And even then, there are still going to be things that are open to interpretation. I highly recommend this book because I think it represents everything that YA is doing well. Neal Shusterman has a way with words that comes out not only in his ability to tell a great story, but also in his ability to write wonderful characters and themes that matter beyond the world of adolescence. This is the book that can be appreciated by both adults and teenagers alike, which I can't say for everything that I read. If this book sounds interesting to you, or if you've read it, please leave your thoughts for me in the comments. I would love to discuss. And as always, book nerds, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.